Shalom, shalom, family. All esteem to Yahuwah. Yeah, just wanted to go ahead and be obedient with this word that I've been supplicating on Yahuwah Baruch me with in the study of the book of Sirach. It's crazy because, in this reset, Yahuwah has just been revealing a lot of things. And one of the things that he's been giving me insight to, if you will, is patience and frustration. So that's why this is entitled Patience and Frustration. And the specific text that I was meditating on was verse 12 in chapter 16 of the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus. And it says, "The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the righteous shall not be frustrated." In other words, a person who is rooted in righteousness, which you can't be rooted in righteousness unless you actually are walking in the fruits of the Ruach, which would be patience, right? So a person who's rooted in righteousness in the Ruach of Yah, they're going to continue in patience. And obviously, we've dealt with that idea of what that word patience deals with. It deals with the long suffering, being able to endure through a difficult or a uneasy, right? A circumstance or a situation that is not easy to get through, right? You'll be able to endure, watch this, with faith. Because see, the person that easily gets frustrated is a person who loses sight of the end game or the end goal, right? What Yah has promised them, what the vision is, what the mission is, what the desired result that you're believing and expectation from Yah for. You lose sight of that, then of course frustration will kick in. Now, obviously, we have to talk about what frustration is as well. So the idea of frustration really deals with the opposite of patience, right? It's you in a specific situation. Watch this. It's you in a specific situation reaching a state of being that is outside of shalom, right? The state of being frustrated, right? The English definition, watch this, is a deep chronic sense of or state of insecurity and dissatisfaction arising from unresolved problems or unfulfilled needs, right? It's the feeling of being upset or annoyed, especially because of the inability to change or achieve something. Whew. Powerful. The prevention of progress, right? So you're not reaching the progress that you desired to reach. You're not seeing that end game, that end goal. You're not seeing the vision. You're not where you want to be, right? And a lot of people are like this. A lot of people have developed this specific characteristic or trait where because they're not at a specific state in life, they've developed an attitude. They develop a resentment, a anger, a bitterness, right? And it's all a result of them losing sight of the end game, the end goal, the faith that they're supposed to be holding on to, right? Hallelujah, the firmness, the amunah, right? The tent peg, the you holding on to that end goal, that vision, right? So again, right, this is in a specific situation, right? Now, there are different types of frustration, which I don't necessarily feel led to go into that, but I do want to talk about this idea of what the script says when it says, "The sinner shall not escape with his spoils," meaning that the person that chooses to live a life outside of the Ruach, that's a life of a sinner, right? Where you're not being led of the Ruach, you're being led by your flesh. You're being led by that negative emotion that overtakes you when you can only see the circumstance as bad, right? You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But watch this. It says the patience of the righteous shall not be frustrated. So it don't matter how bad or dark the situation looks. That person that is rooted in the Ruach of Yahuwah, man, he's going to continue striving, right? He's going to continue, watch this, to pray in those moments when he feels anxious, right? He's going to do what the proverb says, and he's going to understand that a soft answer turns away wrath. So he might be feeling frustrated in this moment, in this situation, but he's like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing right now. I'm going to go and pray. I'm going to go and breathe, because it's definitely not good to bottle up things and allow them to stay within you either. right? That's also a result of frustration. You might be frustrated at something and you don't say nothing about it, but you allow it to stay within you. No, it's got to be released. It has to be released through prayer, through meditation, through confession. Hallelujah. Through all the resources that Yahuwah is opening up our eyes and giving us insight to on this healing journey in the reset of the frequency, right? So saying all this to say, yeah, the situation shouldn't move you to a place of anger, right? Just shouldn't move you to a place or being in a state that is outside of that shalom that you know is supposed to come when you're thinking about the manifestation of that end result, that desired result, right? And this is all, again, something that has to be a conscious decision that you make, that you're not going to be in this state when these feelings arrive. Because, again, to say nobody becomes frustrated, that's false. Everybody at a certain point is going to experience this type of emotion. But how you respond to it is going to determine who's actually rooted in righteousness and exercising that patience. Again, because it is a work. Now, I want to say this too. There is a difference between anger and frustration, right? Anger is a natural response, right, to situations where we feel offended, right, attacked, done wrong, right? So again, anger is something that is normally triggered by external factors, I'll say. But watch this. Frustration on the other side is internal. Yeah, something else might cause your frustration, but it's normally rooted within. And again, that's where the peace is supposed to lie. That's where the emunah, the faith, is supposed to be within you, within your ruach. So again, when a person fails to fulfill his or her desires at an expectation, right, that they have, right, they often get to a point where they are frustrated. And again, this is an inner work. So ultimately, the result of this frustration is hopelessness, discouragement, right? Sad, disappointed. These are all results of frustration or things that are related to a person who is exercising frustration, right? But again, this baruch me so much because this is what the Ruach revealed to me. The Ruach showed me that the Ruach of Yah is actually working patience with, it's an inner work. Meaning that no matter what's going on externally, that patience that's within you, it shouldn't be moved, right? Because of what? The root of belief. Now, frustration is supposed to be voided out by your faith and your belief, right? Through your firmness, that being at the forefront of your thoughts, which is why you always hearing me saying this, and I'm going to continue saying it as long as the Ruach continues to lead me to talk about it. But this is why every day you have to set the tone of your day through prayer and meditation, right? As well as affirming what is of a truth. Because when these things are at the forefront of your mind, even if you see something that's not in alignment to it, hallelujah, you're going to be able to hold that inner peace, that inner patience, because again, you've already set the tone of the day, knowing that the words that you speak, they are ruach and they are light. Now again, or ruach and they are life. Now again, you have to actually believe and speak these words with authority and confidence in order for them to take root and to take hold. If you're not believing this stuff, if you're not really at a place to firmly setting your heart on this expectation, then you're going to be just speaking vain words. And we talked about this before, words of vanity, right? Words that are idle. We talked about this before, idle words. You're just speaking idle words. No, you have to actually be rooted and firmly get your own self to a state to where these words, are of a truth. And this is what you're turning over and over and over again through your meditation. This sets the tone of the day. So again, if and when these things arise that are outside of that, oh man, you already know at the end of the day, it's like what it says in the script, right? Resist Hasatan and he will flee from you, right? You resist those things. Why? By going back to what is true, meditating on what is pure, what is set apart, the end game, the end goal, the end vision. So I just wanted to encourage you today. Don't allow frustration to take you off course or off path to what Yahuwah has promised you, which is your optimal self. Shalom.